All right, bows and bow ties. Sorry, here is a hair situation. All right, so look, there's a little bit of you know, verbal sparring going on with the anchors on ESPN. You've got Stephen A. and Malika Andrews not talking about the Josh Giddey situation where allegedly he has engaged in relations with a minor. I keep saying everything is allegedly, allegedly, allegedly. And then you have what was his name, Vonn Miller or whatever his name, I can't remember, the NBA star who allegedly was slapping around his girlfriend or wife or whatever. And so the anchors want Stephen A. and Malika to go really hard on Josh Giddey. So these are my thoughts. I understand where people are coming from as far as like, look, if you're going to go after one, you're going to go after all. But it's like, there's two things here. One, we have to recognize certain things as for what they are. We know that the athletes are not going to be treated the same. But two, I think for me, yes, they need to question or cover the Josh Giddey story, right? Because I know, there's some sensitivity there because you don't want to start talking about something about an underage minor because, you know what I mean? Like an underage minor, It's almost like saying the same thing. You don't want to bring a minor into like these kinds of mature conversations that can go, viral. In the same token, you can talk about the player. And these are tough conversations to have. But I go back and forth because this could potentially involve a minor. But I think the conversation should be had. But this is the thing. I feel like Black people consistently are always trying to... I feel like if somebody does something wrong, they're always like, well, you didn't go after this person. And the way I look at it is, yes, although this may be true, but you know the rules, number one. And number two, it doesn't negate you doing something allegedly, horrific. So if Vonn was slapping around his significant other, putting his hands like, because, NBA players are huge. Even the smallest ones are big compared to most people. I look at somebody like Steph Curry, for example. What is he, like 6'2", 6'3"? He's got a couple of muscles. But if you compare him to me, I'm 5'6". He's going to look huge. He's going to look big. These men are not waifs. They're not these shrinking wallflowers. And I just feel like this. Like, men shouldn't be slapping women around. I'm not saying you can't defend yourself, but these athletes putting hands on women, and I don't know all the circumstances behind it, but you got to call a thing a thing. And what happens is, I feel like every time we have these conversations, people are like, oh, well, this one didn't get caught. I'm like, but you did. And you know what you did is wrong. It's still wrong. So this is where I know that people are going to get upset with me when I talk about whether it was Bill Cosby or whatever. Bill Cosby allegedly, I won't say allegedly because he was convicted and released, but like, he did some bad things. And everyone's like, oh, well, there's got to be a statute of limitations. I'm sitting there thinking, like, it doesn't negate that he did bad things. And so everyone's like, well, what about the Harvey Weinsteins of the world and Epstein's and, who's the guy who used to be on NBC? Matt Lauer, Kevin Spacey, all these guys. They're like, because all these guys got Me Too. And I was like, yes, these guys did some bad things, but it doesn't negate the things that Bill Cosby did. And so everyone's like, oh, it's not fair, it's not this. And I'm like, yes, I get it. It is not just, but it still doesn't negate what he did. He still did bad things. And so I say to everyone, look, you know that our legal system is not just. But you also know that you shouldn't do such things. Don't do these things. And so now everyone, it's like, I feel like um, when it comes to black athletes, especially black men, I feel like they just want to be white men. They want to be able to do whatever it is that white men do and get away with these things. And I'm just kind of like, they need to come to some sort of understanding. They need to just get with some acceptance. You are not a white man, and so you will be dealt with accordingly. Your crimes are going to be handled differently. You will be charged differently. So, circling back to with Stephen A. and Malika Andrews, the way they did not address the Josh Giddey situation. This is the thing. I think they should have addressed it. They should have. But I can see how that might be tough in that when you start bringing in discussions about a minor. All right? Because this can go like this is a minor. It's tough. And I don't know what all of their reasoning is behind it, because I didn't really care to listen to all their reasoning is behind it. I'm just going to be honest, like why they haven't really talked about it. I heard like about 5 or 7 seconds or whatever of a clip from Stephen A. and I got caught up doing something else. And basically it's like, I don't have all the facts. Well, we never have all the facts for many of these cases, so I don't know if that's really a reason. You can report on the fact that, hey, we don't have any facts right now, but allegedly he's being brought up, or there are allegations of, improper behavior with a minor or something along those lines. I think you can address it. But even still, with that being said, black men need to get with some understanding and get with some acceptance. Black athletes are not going to be treated the same as white athletes. So stop doing, well, that's not a reason why you should stop. You should stop doing bad things because it's the right thing to do. Stop doing bad things because it's the right thing to do. It's to live like a normal, decent person in society. And that's just where I'm at with it. So, I guess just because I'm tired of hearing people saying like, well, they didn't do this to this person. I'm like, you're right. But what do you want? You still did something bad. I always say, if 2 people go out and murder, I have to explain this to my kids too. If 2 people go out and commit murder and one gets caught, the person who got caught should not be more concerned about like, well, why didn't you catch this person? They should be concerned about, one, why are they committing these murders? And if they got caught and they're going to be prosecuted accordingly, I'm like, they still did a bad thing. You're more concerned about why the other person didn't get caught instead of worrying about your own dereliction. It's like crazy to me. Anyway, I think, yes, I feel like I know I'm being a little hypocritical as far as, the Josh Giddey situation should have been discussed, or at least there should have been some discussion around it, like even at a high level. But at the end of the day, black athletes need to understand. I'm like, look, we've seen time and time again that this is not going to be handled justly. Stop putting your hands on people. Allegedly. Stop putting your hands on people. Stop doing these bad things. Get control of yourselves. I believe many of these athletes probably do these things. They're not used to being told no. They have been coddled their whole lives because they were big, fast, strong, and then you add skill on top of it. Who's going to say no to these superstars? I've seen some things. Let me just, people who are used to being in these sorts of positions definitely feel entitled to people's bodies, a lot of things. I'm just going to leave it there. Let me leave it there because I don't want to start any mess. But they are definitely entitled. They're not used to being told no. Things are used to being swept under the rug. So stop doing bad things, and then you won't get in trouble. It's that simple. All right. I haven't ask you guys to subscribe in a while, but this is a great opportunity for you to subscribe. And then you need to go back and watch every single video. Just watch all of them, because I am amazing in every way and can do no wrong. Um, and thoughts are too, because if you have any thoughts, let me know. There's always, let me just say this. I have all these ideas of things that I want to discuss, and then I never get around to them. Partially because by the time I get around to it, I'm on the road. And I would like to have other supporting information, but it's just crazy right now. It's just crazy. Anyway, it's about 5:51 a.m. and I will be at my job in about 5 minutes. Or, yeah, about 5 minutes. So, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what your opinions are. I'm really curious to hear how people, what your thoughts are in regards to Josh Giddey versus Von Miller. I don't even know if I want to call it controversy. All right. And subscribe. All right. Have a good one.